Spiritual growth isn't just about what you gain. It's about what you're willing to release. Old habits, heavy thoughts, energies that no longer serve you. In this video, we'll explore 5 common behaviors that block spiritual evolution and why letting go of them can change everything. If you're on a path of awakening, this may be the invitation you didn't know you needed. Most people think spiritual growth is about doing more. More meditating, more journaling, more reading, more healing. But in truth, it's about becoming lighter, clearer, more open. It's about unlearning what the ego clings to and creating space for what your soul already knows. So if you're feeling stuck or stagnant, consider this. What if the next level of your growth isn't about adding more, but about letting go? Let's explore the 5 behaviors to release, one by one. 1. Constantly needing to be right. This is one of the ego's favorite games. When we identify with being right, we close ourselves off to growth, new ideas, and deeper connection. We defend our beliefs even when they hurt us. We argue to protect the illusion of control. But spiritual maturity invites humility. When we're willing to be wrong, we're actually saying, I'm more committed to truth than to ego. Letting go of the need to be right opens the door to wisdom. It's a move from defensiveness to curiosity, from rigidity to presence. It allows for deeper listening and with that, deeper understanding. Ask yourself, do I want to be right, or do I want to be free? The more often we choose presence over pride, the more peaceful our relationships become. And ironically, the more we grow because truth reveals itself in the spaces where ego loosens its grip. 2. Judging others for not being spiritual enough. Here's a subtle trap many seekers fall into: spiritual judgment. It often sounds like, she's so asleep. He's not on my level. They're too caught in the matrix. It feels righteous. But underneath, it's still separation. Still ego. Still fear wearing a spiritual mask. Judgment is just projection. When we judge others, we avoid looking at parts of ourselves we haven't yet loved. And ironically, spiritual judgment is one of the most effective ways to stall our own progress. Why? Because it diverts the energy inward growth requires and turns it outward into critique. Real spiritual growth softens us. It doesn't inflate the self. It dissolves the illusion of separation. Letting go of judgment means remembering, everyone is on their own divine timeline. And no one's path is better than another, just different. When you shift from judgment to compassion, you move from arrogance to understanding. And that shift, even in silence, changes your frequency. 3. Over-identifying with the spiritual identity. This one's tricky. You start meditating, reading sacred texts, attending retreats. You begin to feel shifts in your energy. You feel more connected. And naturally, you want to express that. But the ego is sneaky. It can take even your awakening and turn it into an identity. I'm a spiritual person now. I only surround myself with high vibrational people. I don't do low energy conversations. But spirituality is not a lifestyle brand. It's not an aesthetic. And it's definitely not about feeling superior to those who haven't read the same books or burned the same incense. Spiritual growth is not about adding layers of identity. It's about peeling them away until you no longer need labels to define you. Letting go of the spiritual identity brings freedom. You can show up fully raw, real, human without needing to appear enlightened. And when you stop performing spirituality, something amazing happens. You start living it quietly, humbly, and more deeply than ever before. 4. Trying to fix everything including yourself. This behavior hides in plain sight. You might think constantly working on yourself is the mark of spiritual commitment. But for many people, it becomes a cycle of self-rejection dressed up as self-help. You heal one wound, and 5 more appear. You clear one limiting belief, and another shows up. You always feel just one step behind, never quite healed enough, whole enough, or ready enough. But here's the truth. You don't need to fix every piece of yourself before you can be at peace. You don't need to complete your healing to experience wholeness. The need to fix everything often stems from a hidden belief: I'm broken. I'm not enough as I am. True spiritual growth reveals the opposite. There is nothing fundamentally wrong with you. Your soul is already whole. Your worth isn't up for debate. Letting go of the urge to fix everything means embracing yourself as you are. It means trusting that some things will unfold without your effort. It means learning to rest in the mystery. This doesn't mean ignoring your healing. It means balancing it with grace. Because growth happens best when it's rooted in love, not fear. 5. Suppressing or bypassing emotions. There's a dangerous idea in spiritual circles that emotions like anger, grief, or fear are low vibration and should be avoided. So people suppress their feelings. They replace pain with positivity. They tell themselves it's spiritual to stay high vibe even when their heart is breaking. But that's not healing. That's bypassing. Bypassing is using spiritual beliefs to avoid uncomfortable emotions. And while it might feel good in the short term, in the long term it blocks authentic growth. Unfelt emotions don't disappear. They live in the body. They show up in anxiety, fatigue, chronic tension. They wait for your permission to be felt. Letting go of suppression is one of the most sacred decisions you can make. Because when you allow sadness, rage, or fear to be seen without judgment, they move through you. And once they move, they release. And when they release, they transform. The truth is, feeling deeply is not a spiritual failure. It's the path itself. The more fully you feel, the more awake you become. The paradox of growth, less is more. Here's the secret most don't tell you. Spiritual growth doesn't always feel like progress. Sometimes it feels like falling apart. Like unlearning. Like unraveling. Like letting go of everything you thought you were. But those moments when the identity crumbles, when the emotions rise, when the path feels unclear are the sacred spaces where transformation begins. Letting go isn't a sign that you're losing yourself. It's how you return to yourself. You're not becoming someone else. You're remembering who you've always been. And that remembering happens in the quiet. In the surrender. In the release. Final reflection, what will you let go of? Let's bring it all together. If you're ready to grow spiritually, let go of the need to be right, judging others on their path, clinging to a spiritual identity, trying to fix yourself constantly, suppressing emotions in the name of positivity. Each of these is a weight on your soul. You don't need to carry them anymore. The more you release, the lighter you become. The more you feel, the more you awaken. The less you control, the more you trust. That's the path. Not perfection. Presence. Which of these behaviors spoke to you the most? Let us know in the comments. Share this with someone you care about. And if you're ready for more deep, practical spiritual content, subscribe to A Spiritual Thing. Remember, you don't grow by adding more. You grow by becoming free.